Bodyworks. Today we're going to be doing a yin session for legs. This is a great session for anyone who has an overall tightness in the legs, but it's also great for athletes as well. So we're going to go ahead and get started just by closing our eyes and taking a few deep breaths. So just sit up nice and tall wherever it's comfortable. It doesn't matter if you have your legs crossed or straight, just find your breath. So we're going to inhale deeply through the nose into the belly. And then on your exhale, breathing out the nose, squeezing that belly button in towards the spine. And continue to breathe like this, sitting up nice and tall, lifting through the tip top of the head. And just keep surfing that breath. And we'll take 2 more breaths just like this. Relaxing any stress and tension on our exhales. And then we'll go ahead and come into our first pose. So let's just blink those eyes open. And we're going to come sideways on your floor or your mat. I'm going to show you how to use blocks, but you don't necessarily have to use the blocks. I'll show you both ways. So we're going to take the left foot forward. This is really important. Your hips are going to be going the same direction as your front toes, your left toes here. And you want to make sure that your toes are out further than your knee. So when we lean into this baby dragon, you're not going to have your knee coming over the toes or the ankles. Now if you have blocks, you can use them just like so, or if you're super flexy, you can be down here on them. You can have your hands on the floor, but you have a nice straight spine. Whatever works for you. You can even have your hands on your hips. You don't even need the blocks. So we're gonna find our breath here. We're gonna be holding this for a few minutes. So you really wanna make sure you're not overstretching as we begin. We're gonna be nice and comfy. Now if this is too much for the back knee, you can always add a little extra padding, a towel, a blanket, or double up if you're using a yoga mat. And just really find your breath, really leaning, letting gravity help you open. Now if you have your balance and you want to close your eyes, this is a great time to really focus on those muscles. Pull in the front of that back leg, the right leg. So a nice stretch. This is great for the hip flexors, the quadriceps. It's also good for your psoas and your iliopsoas. And if you don't know what any of that means, that's completely fine, but it is really good for your hips. It's a great opener. Melting in. Each exhale helps you relax a little bit more. And just make sure your spine is still nice and tall. Whether you're leaning forward, you want to have a straight spine, or you're up tall like this, or with your hands on your hips. Always lifting through the spine, even when you're leaning forward. We'll take about 5 more slow, steady breaths here. And whenever you're ready, we're slowly going to bring the hips back towards that right leg. And we're going to bring those left toes up off of the floor. So this is half monkey. So now we're going to be stretching the back of the left leg all the way down to the calf. So you want to really keep the foot flexed. So remember, toes towards your nose. That will help you get a stretch all the way down. Now if you don't have blocks here, again, you can have your hands on your hip, or If you have a couch or chair or something nearby, you can also hold on to that as well. Keeping that spine straight and finding your breath, breathing into the back of the leg. Every exhale helps you stretch a little bit more. Now remember, gravity aids us in all of these stretches, so it's very important that you're not starting overstretched. If you start and you're already feeling too much of a stretch, you want to back off because gravity is just going to make it more intense and you won't be able to hold the pose. So just accepting where you're at, working with your body. Finding your breath. Again, if you can close your eyes and really relax and imagine these muscles in the back of this left leg just lengthening, stretching. Keeping your navel in tight, keeping your spine straight. So there's lots to concentrate on here. Sometimes with the Yin practice, we get lost in our thoughts. If you can concentrate on your breath or concentrate on breathing into the muscles that we're trying to release, or I should say the fascia and the connective tissue that we're trying to stretch, it really, really can help you focus and clear your mind at the same time. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and take those left toes back towards the mat. And we're just going to switch sides. So we're going to take that right foot forward. Again, if you need to double anything up for the back knee, you want to make sure your toes are out further than your knee. That's very important. Notice if there's any difference here than there might have been on the other side. Now you can have this back foot, I didn't mention this on the other side, but you can have the back foot down, or if you really feel like you need some more balance or you want to stretch out the foot a little bit, that back foot, you can have the toes into the floor or the mat. So again, finding that nice straight spine and breathe. Leaning in, letting gravity help you here. Each exhale helps you stretch a little bit more. Now with Yin Yoga, we're aiming to stretch the connective tissue, the fascia. We usually do Yin without warming the body up because we want to stretch that tissue cold. You can still do these stretches if you are warmed up or you've done a workout, but it's best to let your body cool off before you do any Yin. Now on the first leg, I had mentioned all of the muscles that we're helping here by stretching the connective tissue and the fascia. It's helping to release the quadriceps, the hip flexor, the psoas, the iliopsoas. So all of that stuff can get bound up with the connective tissue. So this is really great to release all of that area. So we're going to do about 5 more breaths. I'm going to stop talking so you can focus on your breath and your body. Slow, steady breaths, straight spine. Lifting your hips back and bringing those right toes straight up towards your nose. So again, we want a nice straight leg. You don't want to hyperextend that knee though, so if you're a super flexi, make sure you have just a slight bend in that knee. Keeping the foot flexed, leaning forward, you should feel a stretch in the whole posterior part of our right leg here. Keeping the spine tall. Again, if you don't have your blocks, you can hold on to a couch, a chair, your hips. It's really important to feel stable, so just make sure that you have that stability. If you keep falling over, then you need to readjust. Every exhale helps us stretch just a little bit more. Couple more breaths here. We're slowly gonna back out of the pose, just bending that right knee and bringing it back to meet the left. Now if you've used blocks, you can go ahead and move those out of your way. We're gonna be lying on the belly. I'm gonna show you two different ways to do a lying quad stretch. I do have a strap here. You don't necessarily need this unless you're just not able to grab your leg, but you could use anything, a belt, scarf, whatever you want. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be grabbing the right ankle. You can grab the shin, ankle, toes, and you're gonna take your left arm and bend it to make a pillow. Now if you can't grab your leg, that's when you would take your strap, your belt, your scarf, wrap it around the toes, and do it this way. So you don't want to be doing a death grip on this. You really want to relax the hand. So just try and work with that so that you're feeling a good stretch in the front of the right leg, but that you're not putting too much extra effort for the rest of the upper body. Your knees should be pointing down towards the bottom of your mat if you're using a mat. So just make sure you're not splaying that knee out to the side. It needs to be straight down, parallel with the other leg. Surfing your breath here, just really melting into the ground. Relaxing everything, letting everything unwind. Few more deep breaths here. Stretch a little bit more if possible. And then we'll relax out and switch sides. So switching arms, you'll be placing your forearm on your, your forehead on your right forearm. And then you're gonna grab that left leg or use your strap or your prop. Make sure the legs are parallel so the knees are pointing down towards the bottom of the mat. And again, just find your breath. You wanna find balance here between getting into this pose and comfortable, but also able to relax and release and let your mind and your body just sink into the earth or your mat. Start surfing that breath. Relax any tension that you might be holding in the hamstrings or the glutes or even the low back. And noticing if one side feels a little bit tighter than the other side. No judgment there, just an observation. Just a couple more breaths here. Stretch a little bit more if you can. And when you're ready, you can ease out of that pose. And come up nice and slow. We're going to roll over onto our back. We're just going to do a real easy spinal twist. This is great for anyone with any low back tightness or even hip or hamstring, anything tight in the midsection. So we're going to take our left leg straight out and we're going to bring our right knee across the body and open up that back right arm behind us. Now, if this is too much and this is too intense for you, we're going to back up and we're just going to take both knees over to the left side instead of just the one. So if this is more your speed, you can take cactus arms and open your chest, or you can hold your legs over, completely up to you. But if you're really not feeling a stretch here, you take that left leg straight and take the right knee across. You choose which one fits your body best today. And just breathe here. Letting gravity help you on every exhale. Let's take 3 more slow, steady breaths here. And our exhales really twisting into the spinal twist. And after your third breath, you're going to bring your knees back into your chest. And we'll just rock a little bit from side to side here. And then if you're going to be doing the two-legged twist, you can go ahead and just take both of those legs over towards your right side and open up your left arm. So opening the left chest and arm, breathing here. Now if you're not really feeling that stretch on this side, you can take that right leg straight out And then take the bent left knee across the body. Breathing into this, allowing gravity to do the work. Exhaling and stretching. Still focusing on our breath, bringing our mind back to our breathing. And we'll take 3 more slow, steady breaths here. And then after your 3rd breath, go ahead and bring the knees back to center. And you can hug them into the chest. Rock from side to side if it's comfy. Having your feet on the ground, just windshield wiper the knees from side to side. And then when you're ready, we'll go ahead and take those legs all the way out. And we'll come into our final resting pose, our Shavasana. This is the most important pose to get good at. This is when we reap the benefits of our yoga practice. And we just relax our mind and our body at the same time. And we just find our breath and just find that quiet stillness, even if it's only for a minute. And so try and stay here as long as possible. This is where I'm going to leave you, so namaste.